Chalk up another 2 points for the Edmonton Oilers. No McDavid, no Draisaitl, no problem. Nugent-Hopkins, who says he can't drive a line? My goodness. The Oilers, 5-4 winners over the Seattle Kraken. Welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola with you. Hernan, Salas back at EST Global HQ. Matty Cassian will be joining us shortly. What a night down at Rogers Place as the Oilers pick up another victory. Gutsy, I guess. A little back and forth. The Kraken not going down without a fight. They're looking to bounce back after a tough loss in Minnesota as they roll through a 4-game road trip. Third of 4 games for the Kraken. The Oilers, third of 4 at home. And they're back in the win column. Good little stretch that the Oilers are on. Indeed, of course, the post-game show brought to you by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Get into the conversation. Let us know your thoughts. 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat if you're watching on YouTube, if you're making your way home from the game. Singing Bon Jovi, and it gets a bit dicey now. So were you worried there? Were you worried when they were singing and Seattle
not just
scored that fourth goal?
The stupid wave was there, and they play a song, they jump the gun. Like, read the room, people. It's I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is.
You're not happy.
It didn't come back to bite them tonight. But yeah, that was the Oilers kind of fell asleep after the empty netter there, because that can't happen. But overall, I thought the Oilers offensively were a lot better than I thought. I thought the Yamark Brown Skinner line was awesome. Nuge, that's what leaders do, man. He's stepping up. That's 9 points in his last 3 games. It still was a weird game, a very weird game. They're able to capitalize on the power play with 2 goals, but they also give up 2 goals, Tom. Skinner, not at his best. Let's just call it how it is. But I think all in all, you have to be impressed with the forward group. I thought they were pretty decent all night, especially creating. Like, Yamark could have had a hat trick too, man. Like, how many times does he have to go in all alone? Connor Brown missed another one in all alone. So I was impressed with how the forwards played offensively. You still want a little bit more. You gave up 4 goals still and had to, push it right till the end to secure the win. You had a blunder by Bouchard on the second goal, I think it was, Tom.
Yeah, that was brutal.
That led to the breakaway. So a lot of good, some bad, but all in all, you get the 2 points without McDavid and Draisaitl, and you got to be happy if you're an Oilers fan. Why wouldn't you be?
It's a nice Saturday night for Oil Country as the team picks up 2 points, defeating the Kraken by a score of 5-4. That makes it 9 straight wins versus Seattle. They haven't beat the Oilers since January 3rd, 2023. Edmonton is now, I think that is 10-2 all time versus Seattle. So they've absolutely owned them since Seattle has come into the National Hockey League. Of course, we want to hear from you. 780-218-9999. I'm going to get into the game summary and scoring stats and all of that right away here. A couple of quick texts to rattle off. Cass will be joining us shortly as well. Stamp Hater says, Oiler fans begin the wave. Nuge scores his hat-trick goal. Further proof the wave belongs in Edmonton. Yeah, and then they start singing and they get scored on. Conroe, Texas says, statement game from the Oilers. Please tell me Nuge is going to shoot more, especially on the power play. Well done, boys. RBM chiming in says, well, look at that. Another simple, good effort game from a group missing their 2 best players. So simple, it's almost boring, which I'm okay with. Good for them, with the thumbs up from RBM. And Mike in Thunder Bay says, the Nuge is huge. What a man to put this team on his back. First hat trick of the season. Amazing. And an empty net goal. Impossible. Great effort all over the lineup, but RNH stepped up big. Man is on fire. 9 points in the last 4, Hernan, for Nugent-Hopkins?
Is it?
Or last 3?
Last 3, I think it is. Yeah, because he had 3 in New York, 3... Wait, am I doing that right?
Did you... Winnipeg, I think.
Yeah, no, I think it's 4. Let me double check that right now.
He was blanked in Winnipeg, against Winnipeg.
Yes, so
last 4. 9 in the last 4.
Which is still pretty damn good.
I'd say so. I would definitely say so. Okay, let's get to the scoring summary. Let us know your thoughts. Keep those texts coming in. And in the nasty chat, do your thing. Hit that thumbs up. All that good stuff. As Edmonton picks up another couple of points. This was a guy who got the party started tonight at Rogers Place that I said, in regard to the question of the night, I wanted to see him step up because Hernan said, which two Oilers did you want to see step up? I said, Adam Henrique. And sure enough, he gets the first goal of the game at 14:30 on the power play from Ekholm and Nurse. Henrique's ninth, and power play unit 1 tonight. If you didn't catch it, Bouchard, Nugent-Hopkins, Arvidsson, Hyman, and Skinner. Power play 2, which scored this goal, was Ekholm, Nurse, Henrique, Kapanen, and Perry. And Henrique cashes in on a nice shot at 14:30. Good screen in front. I think that was it Perry? I think Perry was in on the screen. But the Kraken would tie it up shortly after on the power play. Kako, his 12th of the year from Matty Beniers and Yanni Newman at 15:49. So just a minute 19 later, this thing's even up after 1 at 1. In the second period, let the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins show begin. His 18th of the season at 3:48, gets a fortuitous bounce off a stick. I think it was Montour's stick, and it goes past Joey Decord to give Nugent-Hopkins his 18th of the year, like I said, from Kapanen and Nurse at 3:48. Then it would be Kako again. Couple guys on hat-trick watch as Kako had a pair. He makes it 2-2 from Newman. Kako's 13th. At 7:01, I believe that was the one with the Bouchard giveaway. That was not a good play by Bouchard. Too soft. Got to get that thing in deep. Didn't happen. And the Kraken go back and score on the break. Then the Oilers would retake the lead. Jeff Skinner makes it 3-2 at 12:31. His 14th of the year. Really nice play by Connor Brown. That was the second guy in regard to the question of the night that I said I'd love to see step up, and he did on this play. Connor Brown gets the Ekholm. Ekholm kind of chipped it to the corner. Brown, good hand-eye, knocks it down, patient, dusts it off, finds Skinner going into the slot, gets it to him, and he rips it past Joey Decord. Skinner playing well, too. That's his 14th of the year, 3-2 Oil. Then Nugent-Hopkins, second of the night, 19th of the season at 18:11 on the power play. Nice shot from Nugent-Hopkins. Hyman and Bouchard, the helpers, 4-2 Oil. After 2 in the third period, the scoring would continue. Andre Burakovsky closes the gap to 4-3 at 5:57, his 7th of the year from Jared McCann. There was also a disallowed goal and a coach's challenge. That was goalie interference. Is it Hayden? John Hayden's goal? I'm sorry, that was just straight up goalie interference. I don't know how many whacks at it, and then Hayden knocked over Skinner. I don't know how the refs didn't get that off the bat. They called it a goal, and then the Oilers had to challenge. It was a good challenge. Just want to get that in there as well. So Burakovsky makes it a 4-3 lead for the Oilers at 5:57. But late in the period, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins into the empty net, shorthanded, his 20th of the year, hat-trick goal. Jake Wallman, his 30th helper of the season at 17:43. The fans going crazy. They're singing Bon Jovi. And then Jaden Schwartz goes and scores his 20th of the season on the power play from McCann. And done. The Oilers would hang on. That goal coming just 14 seconds after Nugent-Hopkins had scored his hat-trick goal, and they had to clear the ice and all of this and all of that. People feeling good. The Kraken make it interesting once again, but that's as close as it would get. 5-4 is your final in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. Shots on goal tonight, 31-29 in favor of Seattle. Edmonton very good on the face-off dot tonight, 55.8% to 44.2. The power play 2 for 5. The PK, which had been playing well, had crept up to 19th in the NHL, goes 1 for 3 on the night. Hits 18-13 in favor of Seattle. Block shots 21-12 in favor of Seattle. Giveaways 17 for the Kraken, 14 for the Oilers, and takeaways 6 for the Kraken, 3 for the Oilers. 5-4 Edmonton wins it. All right, keep those tags coming in. 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. Gazzola, Salas, and our game analyst, Matt Cassian, is good to go for the breakdown. Brought to you by South Fort Chev. We are officially in truck month, which comes with deeper discounts, lower interest rates on Silverados and HDs, 0% for up to 72 months on Silverado Custom and Custom Trail Boss. The Silverado is built in Canada. 90-day payment deferral or $10K cash back with the purchase of a new vehicle. Conditions do apply. See dealer for details at www.southfortchev.com. Drive a little, save a lot over at South Fort Chev. Cass, hey, I think a lot of satisfaction tonight. It wasn't perfect, but I think we're going bravo, Edmonton Oilers. Well done.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah. I totally fair. That's a totally fair assessment. They were good tonight, and you weren't expecting the masterpiece, right? You weren't expecting complete dominance. You're expecting guys to step up, which they did. You were expecting them to try to push, which they did, and play an overall pretty solid game. Wasn't glorious, but a good win, one you're certainly happy with without McDavid and Draisaitl in the lineup.
Nancito.
Yeah, Cass, a lot of guys stepped up. I mean, we didn't include Nuge in the question earlier today because he's been playing really well, but Jeff Skinner scores again. Was there a certain line or players that you really liked their jump today? I know I mentioned the Janmark line with Connor Brown and Jeff Skinner. I thought they were all over it tonight, but anyone stand out for you outside of Nuge?
Outside of Nuge? Well, I picked Nuge on the pregame show. I said I didn't know it wasn't supposed to be one of the options, but I did say Nuge. Yeah. I mean, Henrique kind of has to be the guy for me. I thought he played very well. He does get the big goal, which was huge. I thought just carried a little bit more responsibility. Kind of became the go-to guy on some of the draws. Anyways, I'd have to see what his total draws were.
I can look it up, Cass.
Pretty good at them, but I think Adam Henrique would be one of those guys. And Connor Brown too, as you mentioned, Tommy. Like he had a pretty solid game. Like realistically, fellas, like it seemed like it was a little bit of everybody, wasn't it? Like It was. You had Ryan Nugent-Hopkins that kind of did everything, scored the goals. Then right below him for me, you had Jeff Skinner, who was in and around it, gets a goal again, so has a big night for him. But everyone else kind of raised their game a little bit too. So it was a group effort tonight.
Hey, good eye on Henrique and his faceoffs, Cass. He was 83% on the dot. 10 wins, 2 losses. He was excellent. Podkolzin 1-1. Nugent-Hopkins was 53%, 10 wins, 9 losses. And then you had Janmark was 4-7. And Derek Ryan ended up taking 5. He won 3 of them. So Henrique, excellent on the dot tonight. All right. So people were saying, hey, here comes the Stu Skinner love. How did the goalie perform in this one, do you think, Cass?
Yeah, he was okay. He was just okay.
Yeah.
I would say he was okay. Wasn't great. Wasn't horrible. You can't fault him on the backdoor goal. Do you love all of them? Probably not. Like he was okay. He was okay. Yeah. You don't blame him on that last one. I'll have to pull it up again here. Goal number 4. Then you get a little bit of a break. Goal number 3, or with the challenge goal that comes back.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was just okay. He was okay. Wasn't great. Wasn't horrible. He did enough. You get the win.
780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat as well. If you have any questions or thoughts, fire those our way. Cast defensively in their own zone. What did you see from the Edmonton Oilers?
I thought they were okay. It's the same thing. It's like they were okay, which is good without McDavid and Draisaitl. Like they were okay. It wasn't like they were closing out too much time and space, but I do feel like for the most part, they didn't give up like a absolute plethora of grade A chances. Like there were some that crept in, defensively right around their net at times. I didn't like the defensemen or the job that the defensemen were doing of clearing pucks and bodies from the front of the net, like where that was a little bit sketchy a couple of times, which is where you see the goal that ends up getting called back. Again, they were very, very average, which is a good thing for a team that was playing without its 2 best players. Like, it's like, yeah, they were there in the defensive zone, made a couple mistakes. weren't horrible, but weren't great, and they get a win.
Wallman and Nurse, did they have a bounce back, or was it still kind of so-so?
I thought they were better. I thought they were better. Still that group too. And Wallman, I noticed a couple times, and granted, it's not like he's as big of a body. You know, he's not a guy that's going to be the most physical right in front of the net trying to move guys. But I felt positionally a few times around the front of the net, he kind of got stuck on the outside, like kind of halfway between, I'm going to front this guy and prevent pucks from getting through, which he does like to do. Like, he likes to block shots, likes to be in the lane. But it felt there still were a couple times today where it kind of was caught halfway of not going to be able to block the shot and then not quite going to be able to recover in time to take away a stick. But yeah, overall he was okay. He was better than he was last game, and Darnell Nurse, which is just he was okay today too. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of that, Tom. A lot of that, like, yeah, they're all right. They're pretty good.
It led to 2 points. I know there's something to be desired for sure, and I'm not going to deny that, but they do get 2 points without the two best players on the team, possibly in the world. Let's get to a few texts here as we roll along. Twitter Mary says, Nuve drove the team today, not just the line. Even with an empty net goal, they managed to make us sweat the last few seconds. Monty says, Monty here, I'm sick and tired of Oilers fans saying every goal against is on Skinner. I honestly don't know what Skinner should have done on any of those goals against. This fan base is exhausting. Boys, look motivated tonight. Let's go again against Dallas. That one from Monty. And then Mike from Calgary says, it's never expletive easy. Nuge was huge and deserved that. Cheers, boys. And then Jay Milne with a quick update here. Do you want to read it, Hernan, or do you want me to?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, Jay he just texted to me. Sorry, I thought he sent it to our group chat. He says, Stan Bowman, who's on After Hours right now, I'm watching it, but I can't hear it, obviously. So Stan Bowman says Leon will be back prior to Connor, but both are not long-term. Bowman is off the shelf as well. He was one of the people in Hockey Ops who got sick after deadline day. They had some food that sent the majority of the Hockey Ops department to a day of rest and recovery in bed, a couple of days perhaps for some of them. But he's given an update and says Draisaitl before McDavid, but not long-term. Thank you, Jay Milne, for that update. All right, Hernan Salas, go ahead. If you got
guys,
anything.
I don't know if you I think the score was 4-2. Arvidsson has a great chance in the slot, and he doesn't dust it off because he wants Nuge to get the hat trick. And what happens right after, guys? Burakovsky scored to make it 4-3. I don't know if you guys noticed that play or not, but listen, like we were talking about the Wave and singing Bon Jovi. We obviously were joking about that, but in that sense, I want to see Arvidsson put that on net, try to score the goal instead of trying to get the hat trick for Nuge, because the game's not over, guys, and there's still 15 minutes left in the game. I don't know if you guys noticed that play or not, but it came right back to haunt them. And if this game is tied, or let's just say goes to overtime and they lose, you're probably looking at that play where he's all alone on the court and he tries to go to the side where kind of Nuge is. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that play.
Cass?
Well, he's trying to be a good teammate, but sometimes you need to be selfish and you need to be thinking about winning the game. I mean, if you were up at that one, I go like, if you were up 3 goals, sure. You know what? Whatever. Like, try to get the guy a goal, but situationally, and I know you want to get a guy a hat trick. I get that. I get it. Like, you want to get your teammate a hat trick, but it's not like it's the 50th goal and it's the last game of the regular season. You're like trying to make sure the guy gets one. You know, it's not Alexander Ovechkin, and this is the goal to either tie or break the record where you want to be the guy that feeds him for that. Like,
right.
It's not that situation. And on top of that, you haven't scored a lot this year if you're Arvidsson. So shoot the puck.
Reid Wilkins texted us in and said, what was it? Nugent-Hopkins. He thought that, actually, I'll give Reid credit because he called a Nugent-Hopkins hat trick in like the first period. I believe. It was late in the first, and he said something like Nugent-Hopkins is probably going to get a hat trick. And sure enough, it happens. And then he thought that Nuge might get the fourth one. That did not happen, but Nugent-Hopkins' hat trick was called by Reid Wilkins, who will stop by a little bit later on. All right, let's go to Shaggy in St. Albert. Shaggy texting in says, Oilers survive a couple more Bush blunders. Second Kraken goal to barely win the game. Tempting fate with the Wave with 4 minutes left in a 1-goal game. If McDavid/Draisaitl are out for the Stars game, they're going to get slaughtered. Nuge, Henrique, and Jay Skinner stepped up in their absence against the team they would normally beat. Nuge with Oilers' first hat trick of the season with the empty net goal at that. The team forechecked well in the offensive zone, created a lot of turnovers. If they would play like this with McDavid and Draisaitl in the lineup, then would have more confidence in a playoff run. Oh, and goalie Skinner was okay this time. Did not ruin my Saturday night. That one from Shaggy. Shaggy pointed out the offensive zone. And yeah, they're pretty determined, it seemed like, guys. But how about in the neutral zone? Where was the Oilers game in the neutral zone? Cass, did you notice anything there?
Well, I liked Ryan Nugent-Hopkins' game through the neutral zone. I thought there's a couple times where I was like, okay, like Nuge is taking, which he has to, like taking a little bit of control, not deferring to McDavid or to Draisaitl to carry the puck through, where he was decisive with what he was doing, and a couple pretty slick moves too. A few shrewd crossovers, like moving one way and then pulling the puck back the other way to create some space and gain zone entry. So I thought Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was really good. I thought Evan Bouchard tried to be a little bit too fancy at times from a neutral zone standpoint, where it was like he was trying to thread the needle with little soft plays, just a little bit too much. And we talked before the game about, and it really can be for some players where, with your top two guys out, the tendency can be to try to do a little bit too much. And I kind of feel like that was Evan Bouchard's night tonight, where it was like he's trying to just feather things through, kind of just touching things through, kind of just enough to get by, trying to make those little plays.
That goal was exactly what you're describing, right?
Yeah. Well, that goal happened with the goal too, not just in the neutral zone. Yeah. Where it was like, and there was more than one. Like he probably had 6 or 7. I should have started counting them. 6 or 7 of those plays tonight, where it was like just trying to make the little play, and it's like the fancy little play, like not like just a chip or an area pass. It was like trying to go through people's feet through their triangle, or like trying to just get it by. And so there were some neutral zone issues because of that, and he wasn't the only one. I just used him as an example, but there were also some good things, like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins carrying it through. The aforementioned Adam Henrique, who had a couple more touches through the neutral zone as he normally does, and probably just because more minutes as well, a few more minutes than typical. So yeah, they were solid in the neutral zone. They do give up a couple odd mans. You give up a breakaway, which is a nice move by Kakko on that one, by the way.
Good player.
He's a good player, really nice goal. Nice back on that. Good move at high speed.
780-218-9999. We will go into the Oilers locker room shortly. Nasty Chat, do your thing. If you're watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Jake from Ontario texting in says, guys, I'm getting this in here now. I'm so sick of the crapping on Skinner. Even in this game, all some quote-unquote fans could do was complain about how bad he was. They won, but still never good enough. This was a good game all around, especially without Connor and Leon. So we've seen a couple of texts coming in where people are like, geez, enough of the Skinner hate already. And there was another text that came in, and I'm trying to find it here. Someone sent it in and said, who do you start in goal on Wednesday against Dallas? I think it's pretty obvious, guys. It's Stu Skinner, right?
Yeah.
Well, it does.
Has to be Stu Skinner.
I mean,
listen, and I hate repeating myself, guys. Like I keep saying, Skinner's the number one, whether you agree with it or not. We get it. You don't like Stuart Skinner, but like he's the number one, guys. He's gonna get the tough games. It's plain and simple. He's gonna be your starter game one of the playoffs. Like it's not Pickard, people. Like enough.
Nope. Well, they won't get over that. It's
No.
they have latched onto that. That is the be all end all. Blame Stewart for everything. And again, I didn't think he was fantastic, amazing tonight.
Right.
Like he was all right. He was all right. Hey, now when we look at the goals, you had like make 2 saves. So stop the first one, stop the second one. Defenseman can't clear the guy for the third one that goes in. So let's blame him for that. A breakaway with a really nice move. Let's blame him for that. Was goal number 3? Was that what? That might be the only one. Was that the Burakovsky? Yeah, that was the Burakovsky one. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So that one, and that's where you go like, okay, maybe that one. No, he is getting screened, but okay. You're upset about that one. I give you that one. And then the Schwartz one, you know, again, guy at the net, backdoor, those backdoor tips, ready. Goalie. So he wasn't like he was groundbreaking, amazing. He didn't steal you this hockey game, but he wasn't bad either. Don't give me that he was bad, and people do. They react. But that's the nurse's good this year.
But Cass, people get mad at you and me and Tommy and everybody.
Oh, they always do.
But let's be honest here. Like the Oilers coaches and management, Skinner's their guy.
Yeah.
Like it's not us making the decision. We're just stating facts. It's going to be Stuart Skinner, guys. Like it's.
Yep.
How dare you state facts?
Like
how dare
now,
you?
Do you want a better goalie? Sure, why not? Okay, yeah, let's. But it's not this year.
You
It's
want
not
the
going to
best
happen.
goalie.
Yeah, so it's going to be Stuart Skinner, and just got to roll with it.
All right, Cass, you good for a quick interview, and then we'll get your thoughts going ahead?
Let's do it.
All right, who do we have first, Hernan?
Let's go with the man of the hour, first star of the night, RNH. Here he is.
6th, 2019, the last hat trick for you. Came in a pretty big moment with some guys out.
I mean, I thought everybody stepped up and did a great job tonight. So, I mean, sometimes a guy kind of gets rewarded for how the team plays, and I thought that's kind of what happened tonight.
Your last little run here, 9 points in 4 games, a three-point game. Maybe describe when you start to feel it and get on a bit of a heater at times.
Yeah, I mean, obviously confidence plays a big part of this game, and sometimes when it doesn't go for you, you can lack some confidence, but you try to stay with it and try to do the little things right, and hope it pays off.
You guys scored on some nice shots tonight. Most of your goals were really nice snipes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Rico's was post in. I mean, just a great shot. I think my first one got a little deflection there. So yeah, okay. Well, thanks, Ryan. But yeah, I mean, our mindset was kind of shoot the puck, go get it, and play off of that. And I thought we did a really good job in the first period of doing that. Got away from it a little bit in the second, but still found a way to get done.
You're in a dogfight right now with Vegas and LA, all 3 teams, battling for the 2 home ice slots. You couldn't really afford to kind of feel sorry for yourself despite all the injuries. How important was an effort like that tonight, considering LA and Vegas also won?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, obviously. I think the way that we think of it is just trying to build our game. Obviously, nothing's a cinch anyways, so I mean, we still got to get in, and then it's about building your game so that you're hitting your peak right when playoffs start. And I think the last little while we've done a really good job of that. I thought against Winnipeg, we still played a great game. That's obviously a really good team, and we battled right to the end, so tonight was another good step.
This has not been smooth for Jeff Skinner since he arrived here. What have you sort of witnessed in his evolution since he got here and kind of his scrap to stay in the lineup and to contribute?
I mean, I think the way that he stays positive, and like I was talking about kind of myself before, is focusing on the little things. He does that day in and day out, and obviously he's been around for a long time. He's scored a lot of goals in this league, and we know that he has that ability, and he's gotten some big ones lately for us.
Did you guys know that you would have a night like this in you, or did you come out to see it improve it yourself?
I mean, we obviously believe in ourselves and our group, kind of no matter who's in or out of the lineup. We understand we lose to the best players in the world. You're going to feel it, but I think the way that you play as a team shouldn't matter too much of who's in, who's out. Obviously, we want them in when we can have them, of course, but I think the guys did a great job of stepping up and just playing our game.
All right, that was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He's happy about that game.
Oh man.
Holy man.
Oh, I know.
It's getting bad, man.
Yeah,
Holy
he's got
smokes.
he's that whole thing.
Oh boy.
I had to. I'm sorry for those.
Poor
Like,
guy.
what do you guys do? We're mimicking Nugent-Hopkins and his sniffles. So 3 goals tonight, +2. 23:02 time on ice. Oh my goodness, the Nuge. 5 shots as well as 1 takeaway, 53% on the dot. He did come up huge as people are texting in. Good to see there. All right, Cass, just a quick peek ahead. A couple days off here for the Oilers. They don't play till Wednesday to close out this 4-game homestand, and it is against the Dallas Stars. So a very important game, another litmus test, if you will. Just your thoughts on how this team's performing, maybe getting one of those guys back, probably Draisaitl, and what they need to do to get a win on Wednesday.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a much bigger challenge than the Seattle Kraken. I can tell you that much. The Dallas Stars are a good hockey team, and they are even better with Mikko Rantanen. And guys getting healthy over there as well. Like they're it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. Now, hopefully, you have Leon Draisaitl back, and we will see. If not, it's going to be an all hands on deck. Everyone's got a battle type of game, like where you will really have to play mistake-free hockey. Yeah. You really will. Like it's going to be that type of game where you can't have those little soft plays through the neutral zone that you're just kind of trying to feather through, just softly kind of touch it in there and hope it works. It's like, no, you can't do that against a team like Dallas. It will jump all over you in transition and forechecks pretty aggressively as well. So it's going to be a tall task. Regardless of, again, if Draisaitl's back or not, it's going to be a test for the Edmonton Oilers and a fun one. It is a great litmus test. They played against Winnipeg, which could potentially be a team, if you get through your division, that you have to play in the Western Conference Final. And Dallas is the exact same thing, because it could be Dallas too. Also, another really good team that you could have to play if you want to make it to the Stanley Cup. So it's going to be another huge challenge. And they're a different team than the Winnipeg Jets, but also a very deep team and really, really good. So you have to be on your game for that one. Mistake-free. That's the type of game you need to start preparing yourself for against the Dallas Stars.
CQ, really quickly, CQ in the nasty chat says, what the hell, real test? Oilers beat them like 2 weeks ago. Facepalm emoji from CQ. Why is it different, Cass? Why is it different a couple of weeks later?
Well, who's not in the lineup? Well, McDavid's not going to be in the lineup, and Draisaitl could be in the lineup, but he could not be in the lineup. And so is it a real test? Yeah, it's a real test. And guess what? Did you go, when you went to school, Tom, and you were in grade 6, or actually maybe let's go to high school, like did you take one test and then you never had to take a test again?
No. Like I took many tests and failed some of them.
You take many tests and you take them over again, and sometimes you fail them and you got to take them again. But it's like, yeah, there can be multiple tests. So yes, they did. They passed that test. Hey, here's another chance at it to see how you're doing, and to keep your play at a level that it should be at.
Good explanation, Cass. Thank you for the question, CQ, or the unimpressed question, I suppose. But I appreciate that very much. Cass, excellent as always. Yeah, go blow your nose. Get rid of those sniffles. You and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a fresh box of Kleenex coming your way and his way. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, pal. We'll see you later next week.
Thanks, fellas.
That is Matt Cassian, our game analyst, with the breakdown brought to you by Southport Chev. Good stuff.
A lot of texts and nasty chats making me laugh on good old sniffles there. I mean, like,
it was so bad.
Oh man, it's getting worse and worse. Like,
I know.
We had him on a couple of games ago. Well, we didn't have him on. We ran his post game, but
yeah.
And then I was like, holy, it's getting like bad, because he's always doing it. But like today, like someone said over under 30 sniffles. And I think that's the thing going forward. Like people are going to start counting them, because it's holy. Like, listen, I know you just played a game, man. But holy.
Is Nugent-Hopkins the kid at school that had the fanny pack with just a couple packages of Kleenex in there? I think so. It's like, why is that kid's nose always right? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, I remember that kid. I might have had to be that kid when I had colds.
We're
back in the day.
We're just having some fun with good.
We're having.
He was
fun,
awesome.
Yeah. Great game by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Next post game, we got to tell Peterdo, tell him to blow his nose, please.
Yeah. Get that man a hanky. Jay in the park texting in says, great team effort, but Bouchard single-handedly tried to lose this one for them. Can't have the guy out when you are defending a lead late in the game. Again, no accountability. How many more times can you let it burn your team? Zero defensive awareness, says Jay in the park. Shanzi says, Nuge with the trick. I'm loving him lately. Shanzi appreciates the 9 points in 4 games that Nugent-Hopkins has put up. What else do we have here? Keep those coming in. Norman at Combine says, damn Wave. Almost did the Oilers in. Greg the Sound Guy says, good win. Needed that one. Stu needs to be better. Take that and run. And then Greg the Sound Guy and Jay Milne providing updates. Says that Stan Bowman is saying Frederick is skating, yet all I hear from you and a buddy who works there says otherwise. What the expletive? We haven't seen him skate with the team, Greg the Sound Guy. I think that's what we said. Maybe lay off the expletives.
Yeah, because if he was with the team, it's kind of like Evander Kane. You were there, Tom. You had video of it. Like he might be skating, maybe very like in the beginner steps of his recovery, getting on the ice by himself when media is not around. So, and I find it funny, Tom, because I keep seeing it. Like people are upset about his timeline, but this is his timeline.
Yeah.
Like Chris Johnson's one of the most reliable insiders in the NHL, and he even said it might be the playoffs. So like, I don't know why people are freaking out about his timeline. Like it's.
You're surprised they're freaking out? I'm flabbergasted.
Some other media are saying maybe 3-4 weeks, which is around that time right now. Well, not even. We're not even at 3 weeks. So like people just need to, I say take Chris Johnson's word for it because he wouldn't put something out there if he wasn't, on it. So, yeah, this is the timeline for Trent Frederick. We all knew it. So I don't know why people are up in arms that he's not playing yet.
Really quickly, Jay Milne sending this in. He's kind of transcribing the Stan Bowman interview on After Hours with Louis and Scott Oakes. Says, Evander Kane update from Stan Bowman. He's definitely going to play in the playoffs. Whether he'll be ready for the beginning of the playoffs, we aren't sure. That's direct from Stan. Nothing on Stu Skinner yet. All right, now, so we can go back inside the Oilers locker room one more time, can't we?
Sure.
Who do we have, my friend?
Go to the Viking.
All right, Mattias Ekholm. Let's hear from him.
Guys, to get, especially forwards, get more opportunity with your 2 big guns up there and make your offense sense.
I thought it was great. I thought there was a lot of guys that did step up. I thought whether it was Skins or Nuge to score goals, or if it was guys on the fourth line stepping up, giving us some quality shifts, and I think up and down the lineup, we did a good job. And it's nice to see guys that, yeah, you're saying it, like they don't usually get those minutes, maybe those certain situations, and they got them tonight, and they did a good job.
Power play looked pretty good.
Little smirk there, huh? Yeah, we got 2, right? So that's a successful night. But obviously, you take 2 of those guys out, it's pretty major on a power play that has been pretty good. But I thought we did a decent job to fill their shoes, and obviously got 2. Would have maybe liked to get one. We got a 4-minute there. We could have got another one, but yeah, maybe not get greedy at the time of year, and just make sure we're happy with those 2 and keep working on it.
You mentioned Jeff Skinner. What do you think has been kind of the key to his evolution and improvement in the last little while here?
I think he's used his legs a lot more. I think obviously opportunity or 2 comes with that, right? But I just think he looks rejuvenated. He's working. He's always worked, but I think there's just sometimes with players like that, they're almost like a magnet to the puck. Like the puck just seems to find him right now, and whether it's 5-on-5 or it's on the power play or whatever, right? He looks really good, and got to give him a lot of credit. He's hung in there and. He's coming through for us now, and when we really need it, and happy for him.
Your transition here seemed pretty smooth, but you've been around the league long enough to know that it isn't that way for a lot of guys. It wasn't that way for him. Could you kind of illustrate how tough it is sometimes to go to a new spot? the adjustment that takes place?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm not the right guy to ask there, but yeah, I thought that he's done a really good job. I mean, I feel like he's a veteran, right? Like, he's been around for a long time, and when you get put in the stance, there's one of two ways you can go. Either you kind of feel bad for yourself and feel sorry for yourself and don't try to do the right things anymore, but I got to give him all the credit in the world. He's been a super pro. He's worked hard, and off morning skates or whatever, every chance he's had, he's worked hard. He's never complained, and back in the lineup contributing now. So, I mean, that's the way you should be handling stuff, and I give him all the credit in the world.
All right. There you go. There's Mattias Ekholm. It sounds like his voice is coming back. That's good. That had been hampering him for a while. Ekholm tonight ends up with a couple of assists, 19-13 time on ice, one shot, one missed shot, and one block shot for the Viking. All right, 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat. Before we bring in Reid Wilkins, I will get to the turning point of the game, and this was kind of weird, but I'm gonna go with it. The turning point of the game, as always, brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. At Advantage Sports Medicine and Physio, we treat you like the pros. Our multidisciplinary team includes sports medicine physicians along with highly skilled physiotherapists, strength and conditioning coaches, and massage therapists. If you have a nagging pain you'd like to see go away, book your consultation today at www.advantagesportsmed.ca. It is the hat-trick goal for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. It goes into the empty net, and it turns out to be the game-winning goal. So that ends up being the turning point of the game. Now, I did like a lot of what the Oilers did in general tonight, and I like the gutsy effort. I like the way they play it. I like how they built up a multi-goal lead, but I'll just go with that empty netter by the Nuge, shorthanded for his third of the night, 20th of the year. Nice little play by Jake Wallman on the wall to get the puck up to Nugent-Hopkins, a little delay, and then he fires it about 165 feet down the ice and into the open Kraken net. That is your Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game, as we welcome in our good friend and host of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, Riedrich Bartholomew Wilkins. That's his name just for the weekend. Riedrich, what were some of your takeaways from tonight's 5-4 Oilers win? Were you singing to Bon Jovi a little too soon as well?
I was not singing to Bon Jovi, though I have sung to Bon Jovi at times in my life.
Ah, yes.
I did not tonight. Well, I mean, look, first of all, they got to 5. Granted, one was an empty netter, but they got to 5 with neither Draisaitl nor McDavid in the lineup, so that's huge. Mm-hmm. I think I thought the Oilers played pretty good offensively when they kept it simple, and that is when they got the puck safely across their own blue line, safely across the Kraken blue line, and then went to work on the forecheck. And I think we saw, I heard when I was driving home, you guys talking about how Dallas will be a different opponent, obviously, mm-hmm. Which they will be. And I think you saw a Seattle team that, like, I know they made a game of it and they played hard, but perhaps did not play. We're not always as willing to risk and to sacrifice. So they were able to get in on the Seattle defense. I mean, even Dunn and Larson, they hemmed in a couple times. Yeah, with the forecheck. So that was good. I thought when the Oilers got into troubles when they tried to get too cute with it, either inside getting it out of their own zone or at the offensive blue line. I know the Bouchard giveaway led to the breakaway when you made a great point sitting in the media box with Belzy and I that he like that. You just got to recognize, just flip it in deep, find a corner to shoot it into. Yep. Or the boards along the hash marks. And I thought and again, a couple of times, like off the rush when they tried to do something too cute at the blue line and then turned it over. But I thought when they just sort of played in a straight line and went in forecheck, they did really well. Like mm-hmm. I thought that was good. I thought, a couple times, unfortunately, they let Seattle scored right after Edmonton scored. I mean, the one goal was a minute 19, and then the goal at the end of the game after Nuge thought that they put it away. They come back and get a power play goal. Knobloch said, I don't know if you played him yet or not, but he thought they defended better earlier in the game than maybe they did as the game went on. But overall, I think it was a good game. Good for Nugent-Hopkins. He has 3 3-point games in his last 4. And again, just a positive to get to 5 and get the win without those 2 guys on the lineup.
780-218-9999. Reid Wilkins joining us here on the GCL Diesel post-game show. Edmonton, the 5-4 victory over Seattle. Gazzola and Salas with you as well. We talked about it, and Hernan brought it up on the pregame show, Reid. He wanted, this was the question of the night, he wanted 2 guys each of us was looking for to step up. I said Henrique and Brown. I think he had Nugent-Hopkins, and a lot of people were bringing up like Janmark. Who do you think really stepped up in this game? Because I think it was more than just 2 guys, but I was pleased with the 2 guys I brought up earlier in the day on the pregame show.
Yeah, Nugent-Hopkins obviously played well. I did think Henrique had a good game. I thought Brown had a good game. Actually, I thought Kassian was involved again at times. I know he doesn't play a ton. I thought Nurse had a solid game, got a couple of assists. I mean, he played 23-34. Well, we should point out Henrique in the faceoff circle, 10 of 12. So that was huge. I even noticed Max Jones on a couple of rushes. I know he only plays 7.5 minutes. He was credited with 4 hits tonight. Like I didn't know if there was an Oiler. I mean, certainly there were mistakes, but I didn't think there was anybody who I felt, oh man, like he's the one guy not pulling on the rope tonight.
Right.
Like, I thought it was a pretty focused effort. I mean, all but 3 skaters got a shot on net. Oddly enough, Corey Perry was one of them. I'm probably not nitpicking this one as much as others because I like they didn't have the 2 big guys. Like just win the game. Mm-hmm. Like don't make too many dumb mistakes and just win the game. I mean, probably the one thing I would nitpick about this game is that they had a 5-on-4 for 4 minutes to extend the lead, and they didn't score. I mean, to me, that was kind of a missed opportunity there. But overall, it was pretty solid. I mean, yes, you would have liked to keep Seattle maybe to 3 and make it a little more comfortable by the end, but I thought it was a pretty good all-around effort. I'm sorry if I'm just Tom, I'm trying to find the last time an Oilers player scored shorthanded goals in back-to-back games. Mattias Ekholm did it twice in a month, but March 4th and March 16th 2 years ago.
That's a rare one.
Maybe it's never happened.
Yeah.
Vander Kane had them about 10 days apart. It's hard to do, obviously.
You have to really dig. And that's Nugent-Hopkins has back-to-back games with back-to-back shorties, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Josh Archibald about a week and a half apart. Now, if that was separated by the All-Star game, then maybe. I'm really going down a rabbit hole here, buddy. Sorry. Can I talk about the goalie interference? Or
no, of course you can. Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm not going to say no to that. That was a critical play. I said earlier, I don't know if you caught it, I was surprised that they called it a good goal on the ice. I thought it was pretty obvious that Skinner got knocked over. What did you want to say about it? Go for it.
So, well, I asked Knobloch what he was challenging, even though I think we had a strong suspicion. But he was challenging, was it 15 Hayden? Is that the guy?
Yeah, it was Hayden.
Going in and bumping Skinner. He specifically said he was not challenging the guys whacking at the puck because remember there was again I can't remember the game. Remember there was that other game where the pad got hit, but the puck got hit too.
Was that Michkov against Philly early in the season?
Yes, that would have been the one that we thought was coming off the board.
Yeah.
So he said we weren't challenging the pad being slapped at. They were challenging the contact. I just have no idea how those are going to go. I know we talked about the Hyman going to the crease against Hellebuck last game.
Yes.
And this one, I hate to say it, like, I imagine a lot of Oilers fans maybe thought it was goalie interference. I had no idea how it was going to be called. Because
this one tonight?
Yes. I really, I hate to say it, Tom, I really wasn't sure. And maybe it's just because there's been so many I've thought, oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I sometimes I feel like, oh, no, they're going to look for a way to uphold their call on the ice or something like that. Or they're going to say, well, he was bumped by an Oilers player and then went into Skinner. I do think that was the right call tonight, but they weren't challenging the pad getting hit. They were challenging the guy going to the net, which is what I thought, but I wanted to hear it from Knobloch to know for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Hayden did knock Skinner over. Skinner was holding that pad down. I think there was like 3 or 4 whacks at it from Kraken players, and Hayden bumps him, knocks him over, and finally kind of chips it into the net. So I thought, to me, that one to me at least, I thought was pretty obvious, especially on the replay, because you and I and Belsey were debating it. But yeah, they got the right call. But I was just surprised that it stayed a goal on the ice from the officials, and they didn't wave it off like they like to do with the hands flailing and all that. But ultimately, they got the right call. So it took a little bit longer, but they got it right. Reid, the Oilers close out this homestand against the Dallas Stars. We might see Draisaitl, probably won't see McDavid. However, he's being listed as not long-term, according to Stan Bowman. Are you highly encouraged by this group right now? What can you say about Stu Skinner, by the way? Because, surprise, surprise, he has been taking flack tonight. And do you think that the Oilers have a good shot against the Stars on Wednesday?
Well, I think that's going to be a big step up, obviously. I'm encouraged, again, with some of the simplicity in their game. For the most part, like then we saw it in the third period against Winnipeg. We don't have the big guys. Get the puck in. Go to work, try to be heavy down low, try to get the puck to the net. Don't try to pass it 4,000 times. Get shots away. Even Jeff Skinner's goal, when he referenced it, Brown made a good play to knock it down with his pad, but then it's a quick pass to the slot and Skinner's shot. That's just a sniper knowing where the net is. Right. So, so make plays like that. But now against Dallas, they're going to have to play even better defensively. Like, there can't be any messing around in their own end. There can't be any turnovers because they're a better offensive team than Seattle. But I'm encouraged with the team attitude and the awareness of okay, we don't have the big guys. The playoffs are coming up. We know what kind of hockey wins in the playoffs. Keep it simple there. I thought Stuart Skinner made some good saves tonight. He made a couple important saves when Seattle was within a goal or trying to push in the third period. I guess sure the save percentage is 27 saves on 31, so below 900. Yeah. But as I always say, the most important stats for goaltenders is wins, and he got the win tonight. Really, that's. I don't nitpick every single goal. Pucks go in. He got the win tonight. I guess he didn't. I was going to say he stopped more than the other guy, but it was actually 4 each with the empty net. But he got the win. Seattle never had the lead, so he was part of the reason the Kraken were chasing or only tied most of the night. So yeah, they banked the points and moved closer to clinching a playoff spot.
All right, Riedrich, I want you to have a lovely weekend. I think you did fantastic work tonight, as always. 871 was his save percentage. I'm not good at math, so I had to actually look at the game the stat sheet, and look forward to seeing you on Monday, my friend.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get this back to back. Or do you have it, Hernan?
Yeah, I do. Courtesy of Brian Swain. 2000.
Oh, there we go.
I'm going to take a guess here. I'm going to take a guess. I haven't checked the season yet. Was it Toby Peterson in March of 2007?
No, it was Ryan Smith in 2004.
What was he doing penalty killing?
I would have found it if I kept. He had a few shorthanded goals here. So it was Ryan Smith, January 2nd at Minnesota and January 2nd at Chicago. Jarrett Stoll also had a shorthanded goal. I sorted everything on NHL.com by all the Oilers shorthanded goals. All right. So it's been, what are we at? 21 years?
Yep.
Since an Oiler had goals, shorthanded goals back. Thank you for jumping in with Hernan. And thanks to Swainer's good at coming up with that stuff, eh, Hernan?
Yeah, he also has, this was the first, RNH is the third Oiler since 1990 to have a power play, shorthanded, and even strength goal in the same game.
Nice.
And empty netter, even though one was the same. He couldn't quite do the Mario Lemieux scoring for the cycle where he had all 5 possible goal types.
That was wild.
Needed a penalty shot, and he needed the empty netter not to be also shorthanded, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you, Hernan. That's awesome.
Okay, Reid, get the hell out of here, all right? Go
Okay,
enjoy
see
your
you guys.
Sunday.
Thanks for having me.
Great stuff. Reid Wilkins, you catch him all week long. Monday to Friday from 3 to 6 with Jay Milne on the Reid Wilkins Show. Awesome show. And it follows up another tremendous program, one I enjoy thoroughly, and that is EST Afternoons with the Latino Heat and Joaquin Gage from 1 to 3 here on EST. You want to get to the player of the game, Natso? And I have a few texts we can wrap up with.
Let's do it. Man, I wonder who it's going to be.
Tough one tonight.
Tough one. I mean, Mark was awesome.
Well, you think about it for like 25 seconds while I rattle off the liner, because the player of the game is brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent top producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. So check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. I know you thought about it long and hard. Who did you come up with for the player of the game, Hernan?
Because last game I had to pick a Winnipeg guy, right? Because they won.
You picked a Winnipeg guy.
This is the 3rd time in a row I'm picking the same player when it's obviously when the Oilers win. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, first hat trick of the season for the Oilers, +2. Only player over 20 minutes. Only forward over 20 minutes played. 23-02, had 5 shots on net, Tommy. So the Nuge sniffles gets the Damon Bunting player of the game for the agency.
And you'll be sending him a pallet of Kleenexes to take care of those sniffles as his reward for being the Damon Bunting Real Estate player of the game. Damon Bunting with the agency. You know what? Damon Bunting branded Kleenex tissues for the Nuge. That would, think of the marketing opportunities.
That'd be great.
Liquid Beaver texting in says, I think this was a good confidence boost, not just for the players, but for the coaches as well. Trust your players. Too much skill and veteran presence to ride 29 and 97 like Knobloch does. Thank you, Liquid Beaver. And then Brad from Crossfield was said, boys, it was Brad from Crossfield who had, do you go to Pickard or Skinner on Wednesday? I think that we see Skinner. And Brad said, to be clear, I didn't mean it in a way that I don't think it would be Stu. Was just curious what you guys thought. Yeah, I think it's just going to be Stu.
Yeah, and Shaggy's saying Nuge did not have a shorthanded goal. He did.
He did.
The empty netter.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is correct. The rare shorthanded empty net goal. He had it. Okay, I also saw one from Coach Mike that I wanted to get to. Coach Mike says, in a typical season, how many times would the flu or cold run through the locker room? Coach Mike, usually it's like twice. Just roughly twice. You get it like around like November, and then when it gets cold around January, you always find that like a bug or two going around. And when we traveled, and I'm sure they still do this because a lot of the same staff is there, especially with the medical team. During the colder months, there would always be, emergency. Reid, Hernan, those little packages, the crystals, you mix them in water. They're called immune boosters.
Yeah,
you'll buy them, vitamin packs. Yeah. You would have 2 of them on your seat on the plane for every flight. And they insisted everybody on the plane took them. And I love those things. I still use them now whenever I feel like something like a cold's coming on. So that was something that you could, it almost like clockwork. You're like, oh, we're going on a long road trip. It's the winter months. Some guys are sick. 2 packages of emergency are sitting on your seat when you fly every flight. So yeah, a couple times a year. Interesting question, Coach Mike. Thanks for asking. Nasty chat. You guys have been great.
And says it's not shorthanded. Same number of players for both teams, including goalie. No, it's still a shorthanded.
You're on the penalty kill.
You're still on the penalty kill.
Yeah. I'm looking at the scoring summary here.
Yeah. Just because you pull the goalie doesn't take away your power play. I mean, yeah, it doesn't take it away.
It's listed as a shorthanded empty net goal.
Yes.
And yeah.
Because they came back, Tom, right after 10 seconds later scored on the power play.
That's correct. That did happen. That is correct.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Shaggy. All right. So what do you think going into Wednesday? A couple of days off to rest and recuperate?
Yeah.
And away they go.
Yeah. I mean, they played with a lot of oomph tonight. This team believes, I mean, this is not a mid-tier team, guys. Like, I know they've struggled, but they're believing in what they're doing. And like I said, this might be the best thing for this group, not having 29-97 for a few games. They know they can win. They know they can compete with good teams. So I don't expect anything different. It is going to be tougher because Dallas is a lot better than Seattle. But again, you're going to need good goaltending, good special teams, and just play solid. Take all the good from tonight's game, shore up the bad, and I think they'll be fine Wednesday.
Hey, a chance to go 3-0-1 on this homestand, which is excellent. They're going to be in tough against the Dallas Stars. Wednesday night, 8 p.m. puck drop for that one. Gotta love those midweek 8 p.m. starts. We'll be on the air at 7 o'clock for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. That's going to do it for the post-game show. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to everybody who listened. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. The Oilers get the win 5-4 over the Seattle Kraken without McDavid, without Draisaitl. Nugent-Hopkins, the hat trick. Henrique scores. Skinner scores again. Lots of good on this night. Was it perfect? No. Was it pretty? Not really. But it's a fun night in Oil Country as they pick up a pair of big points. Second place in the division. Those Edmonton Oilers are 2 points up on LA. All right, for Reid Wilkins, for Matt Cassian, and Hernan the Latino Heat Salas, I am Tom Gazzola saying have yourselves a lovely night and enjoy your Sunday. We'll see you on Monday, everyone. Good night.